Hello, hello, my beautiful, gorgeous, amazing subscribers and supporters of this channel. It is me, Whimsy. Hi. I'm here in Bogota, and much to my shock, I'm not experiencing altitude sickness. I got hit with really bad altitude sickness when I first arrived and spent 3 days in the bathroom, saw nothing of Bogota, and I still will not see anything of Bogota because, alas, I just don't have the strength and the energy. When we are going through a healing crisis, all kinds of things come up. We no longer have the energy to fake it. One of the things that happens when you go through a health crisis is that all your energy is focused on healing your body. And so you just don't have any energy to put on a facade and pretend. You can't pretend. So a lot of changes have happened to me during this trip, and I want to share some of those spiritual changes with you. During this process, I removed a lot of people from my life. And for those of you who've been picked on and spit on and beaten down by friends and family members, people who claim they're your friends while attacking and insulting you every chance they get, they're not your friends, okay? You're not put on this earth to be kicked around. Now, in my family, I was the sixth of 7 children, and I was one of the designated scapegoats. A lot of people in my family got abused. There were 7 of us, and we all had terrible things happen. I don't want to go too much into the details, but over the years, one by one, I started removing family members from my life. And there was a certain family member I had, that an older sibling, who basically had no childhood and probably thinks I'm responsible for that. And this is, this is just a theory I have. I can't prove it. But I always felt when I was around this person that she deeply resented me. And when I would confront her about this, she had no conscious awareness of this, and she would deny that she resented me. But every time we'd get together, she would treat me very badly. And what I did, and this is something that a lot of abuse survivors do, she was my caretaker, but she was also one of my abusers, and I have to acknowledge that. And so she raised me. She's 8 years older than me. This person helped raise me. But she also had a lot of anger about the abuse she was being subjected to. And she was subjected to far worse abuse than I was in a number of ways. And as if that wasn't bad enough, she was stuck in the designated role of now being the mother, because my biological mother left when I was 7. And I had no mother. And so this older sibling had to become the parent. And she was being terribly mistreated, terribly abused, and stuck raising this child. At the age of 14, she had to become the parent. So you can only imagine how infuriated and angry this person was about the daily abuse, the horrific abuse she was subjected to, and then she was stuck having to raise me. And so I grew up really being apologetic for being alive and the inconvenience of her being stuck having to raise me. Fast forward to age 62, and I do what a lot of victims of abuse do. I fawn, freeze, flee, right? But if you know somebody in their own way, to their own capacity, loves you and helped raise you and gave up their childhood for you, there's a sense of obligation that you've got to stick by them, because this person sewed my clothing, cooked my meals, showed up at mother and daughter days at the school, and nothing can give this woman, her childhood back. Nothing will give her childhood back. And I had taking her to lunch, and I thought, if I'm really, really nice to her, she won't be mean, she won't be cruel, she won't insult me, she won't degrade me, silencing me at the dinner table. I'm a 62-year-old woman, and I was never allowed to open my mouth at a family gathering. Everything was an argument. Anytime I had an opinion that was different than hers, she would shut me up and tell me she didn't want to argue. I was to be silent, like a child. And so when I got sick, I decided to terminate that relationship with love, to the best of my ability, and understand that she loves me to the best of her ability. But she is also toxic, and she can't be a part of my life anymore. And I'm sorry those terrible people took your childhood away. I'm sorry you were abused horribly. Horrible abuse. Shocking abuse. I can't even fathom the abuse this person was subjected to. And to the best of her ability, in some ways, she shielded me from that abuse. And so it was difficult to terminate that relationship, because in her own way, she deeply loves me. But there's a difference between love and respect, and there's a difference between loving somebody because they're a part of your family and liking them as a person. And I came to realize that this individual behaved in a manner that led me to no doubt that she hated my guts. And had zero respect for me, zero respect for my profession. I literally was not allowed to have an opinion at any family dinner. I was just it was extremely embarrassing, by the way. I was just supposed to sit there, and she was my bully. She was my caretaker, and she was my bully. She used to pinch me and call me brats. But she also fed me. So when you're in a situation like that where somebody is pinching you and they hate you, she took my freaking childhood away. And because it's safe to hate the vulnerable child, but it's not safe to hate the person that's abusing you, that puts you in this situation where you're stuck taking care of this brat. So the last time we got together, it was just more of the same abuse. And by the way, when you fawn, I was picking up the check. I was always paying for everything. That's part of my fawning. That's part of my training. If I pay for everything and if I treat you really, really well, will you not hurt me anymore? Will you stop abusing me? Paying for friends, paying for kindness, paying people to like you. I have a family, but it's a family that I've chosen. Chuck Dransfield, my assistant, that's my family. In the event of an emergency, he's the person you go to. And it's not because I pay him, and I do pay him. I pay him the best salary I can afford. He's in the top percentile in terms of what he gets paid as an assistant. He earns every frickin' dime. I wish it was more. Because he earned it. Not because he's paid to like me or love me, but because he's good at his job. Don't pay people to like you. Don't pay people to love you. It's okay to say I love you, but you're toxic and I can't have you in my life anymore. Toxic to me. Not saying you're an inherently toxic person. I'm saying I want you to go be with the people you like, and you clearly don't like me. I'm not going to beg anyone to love me anymore. I'm not going to beg you to love me. That was my healing. Thanks for listening.